very nice, insightful look from former members,
yeah.
4 very different members. We're joined now. National Journal's Major Garrett, wonderful publication.
Yes, indeed.
They
No
host a
piping
hotline.
of news there.
No, there's not at all. But I do want to raise one question about this, which is we certainly hear a lot about this. Congress is broken, special interest, et cetera. And yet they talked a lot about you can't really get centrists involved anymore. And yet when we look at Don't Ask, Don't Tell, or we look at START, or we look at the tax cut, it really was the centrists that made this happen.
It was the centrists that made it happen, and compromise is not an organic product. It doesn't happen instantly. You have to have an argument. Then you have an election, or maybe a series of elections, and then one side gains just enough ground to get enough centrists to take their faction over the finish line. That's how it works. Compromise doesn't start at the first, it starts at the end. Don't Ask, Don't Tell took 17 years. It's too long, maybe, but that's what it takes. A long time, a long argument, and finally a vote.
What's your sense on the last really big piece of unfinished business, START? It's
over.
It's over.
I just don't see it. When Mitch McConnell and John Kyle stand side by side, John Kyle has been leading the opposition. Mitch McConnell has been, generally speaking, silent. When he joined John Kyle, that was a signal it was over.
But will there be anything substantive that will change in this treaty once it gets debated again in January or February?
Probably not, but it will be used as leverage in other legislative negotiations between the Republicans who have larger numbers in the Senate and House Republicans, though they don't have a dog in the confirmation fight or the ratification fight of the treaty. They will use that together to leverage the White House on other issues unrelated to national security.
But if it doesn't pass now, it's dead, right? I mean, does it?
It can be resubmitted. And if the Russians pull out of it, well, then it may end. But if there's no indication that they're going to.
The makeup of the Senate's going to be more anti-Russia treaty.
In theory. In theory. Now, if these are substantive disagreements, and I'm not really sure that they are. I think right now it's about process. Republicans feel jammed. They see that Obama's on the cusp of a historic lame duck. They want to deny him that for political reasons, procedural reasons. Then come back next year. They can look at the substance, read it, maybe some more, and then move it through. And again, leverage on other issues.
But wasn't this supposed to be the deal, so-called deal, that Kyle cut in this whole tax debate was, you give me the estate tax, we give you START.
Will you give me the tax bill and a CR, or a resolution of whatever spending authority is, and then we'll get to START.
Yeah.
That was implied. The implication appears to be tattering.
Because Don't Ask, Don't Tell made it. Do you think that's
I think that was a part of this.
I think that's a very big part of it.
So what's your sense? This was the last gasp in terms of legislative achievements for the White House, or
well,
what?
it's the last gasp on its terms. Whatever it achieves with the House Republicans will be half on their terms and half on the White House terms. There will be no more, this is our agenda, we'll grab whatever centrist Republicans we can knock off and get over the finish line. Whatever happens in the next Congress, and I have a huge piece in the magazine about this week, we'll first engage, I talked about a fight earlier, in trench warfare. World War I, trench warfare, prolonged month after month, exhausting fights, then some sort of resolution. But I wouldn't count on much resolution.
Right, on that note.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Happy New Year to you. Thanks, Major. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, you can follow all of us. This is at Amy Walter, at John Carl, at Major,
at NJ.
Thanks for watching Top Line.